Hello and welcome to Making a Claim, the basis for an argument. I'm Dr. Rick Merritt. Let's get started. When we think of an argument, we may think of two people yelling at one another about various things. It could be a couple arguing about money. It could be friends arguing about the best movie of all times. However, in this class, we'll be focusing on formal argument. This helps us to keep track and to avoid the pitfalls that often occur with what we commonly think of as argument. More often than not, they turn out to be shouting matches. We are going to use the Toulmin model as our basis, but we're going to make a few changes along the way. This is based on inductive reasoning, where the claim is made, and evidence and reasons are offered, more on these in the next module, to support the claim. We are talking about formal argument, and by discussing the reason we are arguing in the first place. This reason is called the claim. In this model, the claim is actually the conclusion of the argument. And if you think about it, it makes sense, as it's what we want our audience to believe at the end of an argument. How do we start? We need to make sure our claim meets 3 or 4 criteria depending on the circumstance. The first criteria is a statement that the speaker or the debate team is trying to convince the audience to accept is a claim. The claim must be clear. Being clear means the audience can easily identify what is being claimed. People should be free is not a clear claim. There are too many variables to be able to nail down what the speaker actually means by this statement. It would be easy to get caught up in the definitions and never be able to establish a good argument. The claim must be controversial. Being controversial means it can be argued. The earth is round is not a claim. But of course, if we were living in the 5th or 6th century BC, this argument would have been controversial. The arguments made against a round earth now seem quite humorous. And in debate, the claim must also be balanced. In a debate, a balanced claim is one that each team has an opportunity to win. Now let's take a look at some examples of claims. The first is, Pete Rose should be in baseball's Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. This is a claim. It can be argued because he does belong in the Baseball Hall of Fame because of his statistics, and also that he does not belong in the Hall of Fame because he broke the rules. This is a clear and controversial claim. Cats are better than dogs is a claim. The speaker is trying to convince the audience that cats are better pets than dogs. This is clear as long as the speaker notes domestic cats and dogs. It is controversial, not to the level of political controversy, but it can be hotly debated among pet owners with a preference. And it is balanced. Each animal has reasons to believe one is better than the other. We will see this argument laid out in a future video. And finally, free college should be made available to everyone is a claim. The speaker is trying to convince the audience that free college is needed. Of course, the speaker will need to identify what is meant by free college and for whom free college would be available. This is a clear claim. The speaker may define the colleges should be as free as 2-year colleges or up through postgraduate degree. It's also incumbent upon the speaker to tell the audience how something that can be quite expensive could be made free. In this type of claim, there must also be a plan to make this happen. Claims can take the form of fact, value, or policy. We will get into these types of debates in a later session. That brings us to the end of this session. I'm Dr. Rick Merritt, signing off.